Hey, hope you're doing great. Today another repair video, and this time a parallel charging board. It was sent to me, but before I tell you what was the problem, let me tell you something about the specs, cause this is, I call it, one of the better ones. Why? Parallel charging is always super danger, but there are better boards, parallel charging boards out there, and this one is one of the better ones. Why? Because this one has fuses like the the Joshua Bardwell parallel charging board, the older and the newer one, this one, and that's, for my knowledge, the only boards with fuses. If you know other one, not these or the Joshua Bardwell ones, please write it down in the comments, that I know that there are others out there on the market with fuses, because I normally don't recommend parallel charging at all, but if you have to, please do it with one with fuses. It's so much safer. It's not safe, but safer. So, but back to this one. It's a URUAV. You can pronounce it much better than I. And the model number is a Blacklight B6pro. Safe parallel. There's a type of charging board. Maximum input current 60 amp. So 60 amp overall. So that's, if you use all 6 ports, that's 10 amp each port, and that is a lot. Maximum balance current is 2 amp, that's fine. They are almost, they are not so much charger who can bring more than 2.5 amps balance on each port. So cell count 2266S. And now we come to the safety features. Each XT60 and the 30s have their own 50 amp automotive fuses. These are these blue ones here. These are from automotive. Let me remove one. So these are super cheap and working. They are thousands and millions in cars and working over decades, so nothing wrong with them. So then there is this buzzer alarm. If something goes wrong, a trigger when one or more main connectors is shorted or break, then this really annoying buzzer buzzes, and that was one of the failures I describe in a few seconds. And this is also the much more important safety feature: battery balancing connector protection, self-resetting thermal fuses between every balancing pin. So not only the XT60 and 30s, no, also each balancing connector has fuses, these self-resetting thermal fuses. They look like this. They are on the back side of the board. Nothing wrong with that. Between every balancing pin with LED short indication, and the short indication is on the front side. These are these little LEDs here. They light up if something goes wrong. So this is the main LED if something goes wrong here. And these are the automotive fuses. So what was the problem? The problem was port 1. I call this the port 1 because this is the input, the main input. I call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Port 1 was beeping all the time. No LiPo was connected. You attached voltage from your PSU, from your charger, and the beeper, really annoying beeper, was beeping all the time, full volume. So the owner removed the fuse from channel 1 and was able to use the other 5 ports, but he asked me, Sandor, can you repair that? And I told him, yeah, on these parallel charging boards, there is no super fancy electronic. What should be broken, it could only be a little transistor or whatever. Send it to me, I look to it, and yeah, here we are. So what are the parts? We have seen the self-healing fuses on the backside, nothing else. So that could not be the major problem, because it's beeping. If there would be a failure on the balance ports or so, could be a fuse. But that was fine, it was the beeper all the time. So he removed the fuse and then all was okay. So it could not a general failure from the buzzer, because every other port was working. So what could it be? And yeah, not super hard to find out, is this little part here. And now is the question, what is it? And yeah, sorry, I have no video from the actual repair. I first thought it's too easy, but it's not too easy if you have never done that or if you don't have the experience, so sorry for that. I hope to do it better next time, I promise. I do it better next time, like Bot Grinder says all the time. I hope so, but for now, let me show you some pictures. The easy way, I have seen it on the schematic here, how the pins are connected. For me, it was in 2 seconds clear that this is a PNP transistor. Nothing fancy, a small amp rating PNP transistor. But I soldered, to show it to you. How do you identify a damaged part if you don't have the experience? But you have such a tester, like you see on the picture. It's a cheap device, and it can help a lot, especially at the beginning of your career. And you solder the wire to a working one. That's the important. You don't solder the wires to the broken one, because it's broken. So please solder it to a working one. Activate your tester, and as you see on the picture, it says PNP transistor, some other things, and then you just use your favorite searching machine. The size, the tester don't tell you, but this size is SOT23. That is experience, or you can look in the data sheet. There are drawings where you can see the size, so you can measure it. That is easy to find out, and you have it in under 1 minute in your search engine. So this one is already repaired, and to show it to you that the video gets not too long, put the fuse inside. I already powered up my power supply with 25 volts. Let me activate my power meter. So now on the XT60 and 30s, this, I call it round. Let me take the black one. Round is ground. That's how I have it in my mind. round is ground. So we put the black one here, the red one here, and we have, yeah, almost 25 volts. A little bit lower, but that is my PSU. So everything is fine. And no buzzer, as you can hear. So here the same. That was one of the already working parts. It was never broken, but I soldered the cables here. Again, round is ground. And we have the same voltage. So everything is fine and it's working again. So this port is again, a 6-port board. The owner, I think, is happy because this is a really cheap repair. To desolder this little transistor was a little bit a pain in the, because there is not so much room and I don't want to burn the XT60 here. Use a fine tip on your soldering iron and take your time, and then it, let me say, under 5 minutes it's removed. Soldering the new one in is done in seconds. So that's all for now. The specs we had, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and please, if you know other parallel charging boards with fuses, I know this one and the Joshua Bardwell parallel charging boards. That's the one I know. If you know others, please write it down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hope I helped you. See you in the next one. Bye. Stay safe.